Good morning from beautiful northern Wyoming. Getting a little bit of winter weather. We had a little bit of snow last night, but the biggest part of it's coming in the next few days. Snow and colder temperatures. It's actually pretty warm right now, considering it's right just barely below freezing, so the snow is kind of a wet, slushy snow. And I was debating about where to go hawking this morning, because depending on how much we get in the next few days, there's certain places I might not be able to get into. So logically I thought, well, I should go to some of the places I'm likely not going to get into later, hit them while I can. And this is one of them. This bottom up here and getting up this next hill can get a little dicey. In fact, I hope I don't have too much trouble with it this morning. Since it's all overcast, the light's real flat, and it can be hard to tell contours and snow depth and, get a good look at what's going on in front of you. So far, so good. The worst part of this through here is going up the hill, and it's not as scary because you won't get stuck. You can just back down the hill. It's a steep enough hill that you're not going to be prevented from backing back down. But here's where it's going to get dicey. So far, so good. The steep part at the end of the hill is usually the toughest part. Get some good momentum going. Yeah, drifting around the corner. Right up here, once I'm on top, I'm good to go. Okay, this should be good. And the wind is out of our nose and is blowing a nice 10 miles an hour, so that should help Astro, who still has a sore pad. He split his pad pretty good a little over a week ago, but I'm gonna limit how much I run him still. I wonder where all the pronghorn have gone. Usually in the winter there's a bunch of pronghorn up on this little top. One year there was probably pushing 500 up here. Looked like something out of Africa. It's kind of cool. Yeah, they get different habits each year. It's hard to guess where they're at this year. Well, we didn't find anything in this first flat. I'm gonna put him in just for a second to get a different spot. He didn't hit the far west side of this flat very good, which is okay because there's a T-track over there. I'll go over there, drive downwind, turn around, and run him back. bummer. I was hoping to find something along there. Throw them in. There's one little part of this that kind of missed. I'll try one more shot. That's a bummer. I'd been finding Huns up here real regular, and there's other parts of it that I could run quite a bit more, but I don't want to put more, stress on Astro's sore foot. I want to baby steps with it. So that's my hope, to find something here. So since I didn't, I think it's pigeon time. But I'm not going to toss the pigeons here. I have tossed pigeons here before. I don't like to, because if Clyde chases one far, it's really hard and long to get out of here and go on a extended pursuit of him. The times I tossed pigeons here are when I had a point or some marked birds or something that was iffy, didn't mark him real well or something, couldn't find him, and I tossed out a pigeon just to reward Clyde for going up. But since I'm just setting out to fly pigeons, not flying something on spec or a point, I'm going to go somewhere a little more conducive to doing that. This hayfield here is where I was planning to fly pigeons, but I think I'm going to glass it first to see if there's any Huns anywhere. It's got short enough cover, it doesn't have sage because it's the hay it. So it'll be a little easier to spot them if they're out and about. Not seeing anything from here. I haven't seen Huns in this hayfield at all this year, but in past years during the winter they've been here relatively frequently, so it's definitely worth a look, especially since I didn't find them over there, which it's only about a half mile away. They could be here in 30 seconds. So since they weren't there, they got to be somewhere. A little bit more snow would make this spotting a little bit easier, because there's still dirt clods and other things that stick up through it that are dark that you have to stop and really look at to make sure they're not Huns. When the snow is just a touch deeper, it's just solid white, with a little bit of grass sticking up. Makes the Huns real easy to spot. I'm not seeing any Huns out here anywhere. Yep, time to view pigeons. It's 9 o'clock, which normally I could push a little bit longer. Get late in the year though, I hate to push into the midday too much because eagles get progressively more dangerous as the winter progresses on. On the plus side, there's not going to be any thermal activity today, so they won't be up soaring, so that significantly limits the danger, but it's still, you get a bird this far in the season, you don't want to take extra chances with them. So I'll just go right back here, the field's a little wider, and walk off the right side farther away from the fence to toss pigeons. This looks like a good enough spot. The sun's peeking through the clouds a little bit there. Give me a little better light for a few minutes. I checked the wind when I was first getting started and it was blowing 10 miles an hour. Feels about the same now, maybe a touch less, but pretty close to that. It kind of become my habit of put Clyde on the truck, give him a minute or two to look around, and then walk up and bump him off, which I never liked, but it was like the most efficient way to get him going quickly. I've been trying to work on just walking away, there he goes, and get him to take off on his own. Over the years, it's had a number of times where stuff bumped while he was still on the truck, or even he spots birds in front of the dog on point and just flies over and tries to catch them on the ground, or if something bumps, he just flies and chases it down. And with his speed, he flies it down and catches it. So it really reinforces that as a viable hunting tactic for him. Thing is, it doesn't always work. Going up and waiting on would be more effective. But he can be stubborn and likes hunting from a perch whenever possible. So we work on getting him to be more peregrine-like. Take a look over this edge quick and See if there's anything exciting or dangerous down here. Nothing obvious. Wait for him to start flapping again. Okay, he's already broken off pursuit of it. I've lost sight of him. The backdrop of the mountain. Where did he go? There he is. That's why I lost sight of him. He came back low. And he's looking for the lure. Hey! Hey! Toss the pigeon to keep him from landing. Okay. I could have pulled out the lure right then. Hey! Up! Keep him from landing. But that wouldn't have done it. But the pigeon will. Actually, he was about to go land again there, so I flopped the lure on the ground. Make it a little more enticing. My old hybrid Pinky, the one that's 26 years old and still alive, he went through a phase. It was a little younger than Clyde is now. I think he was about 5 or 6. Where for a few years, he didn't want to stoop to lure. If I cut his weight down, he would. But he didn't want to play the lure stooping game. So we just quit for a few years. Then later in his life, he decided to do it again. Clyde's never shown any inclination to that, but this year there's been a few times where I was swinging the lure and he did go land on the truck. So I hope he's not entertaining those thoughts. He is actually related to my old bird. My old bird's mother was a gyr falcon. He was made backwards, peregrine semen into a female gyr, which they haven't made very many that way ever. But he was, so technically he's a peregrine gyr, not a gyr peregrine. But his mother was Clyde's grandmother. So I guess my old bird is Clyde's uncle. Different father, of course, because, you know, hybrid or pure gyr, but see what the weather does the next few days. It's supposed to be relatively warm still tomorrow. High in the upper 20s, that's Fahrenheit, and snowing pretty good. And then after that, it's supposed to drop. We're supposed to have highs. I think one of the days is supposed to have a high of -6 Fahrenheit, which is a little chilly, and lows like -16 or something like that. And the forecast is calling for, if you add up all the days, you know, 2 inches here, inch there, and so on, it comes out to like 8 or 9 inches. But it's hard to tell with a front like this. We could get 2 feet. We could get 2 inches. Don't mind a bit of snow, as long as I can still get around. The cold will motivate Clyde. He always flies better the colder it is. I'm sure there's a lower limit to it somewhere, but his lower limit is probably colder than humans can survive. I did see him shiver one time. It was 25 below Fahrenheit, actual temperature. I don't know what the wind chill was, but I just got done flying him, and when I put him on the perch, in the truck, and that, you know, kind of adrenaline and rush is gone and his heart rate comes down after flying. He shivered for about 20 or 30 seconds. Just barely noticeable, but he did shiver, so that's, I guess, what it takes to get a deer falcon to shiver briefly. And a few more passes and call it good. I'm less conditioning right now and more burning calories. Okay. Oh, this timed it. Mistimed both of those. Trying to get him to just actually fly and make a pass. There he goes. I keep mistiming it, he's going so slow. That was a pretty good workout, huh, Clyde? Lots of guys love using the drone for conditioning. There's a couple of things that make the lure better. One, the lure teaches them footing and maneuverability skills, which the drone won't. And two, you can easily put it in your hawking bag and do it after an unsuccessful flight. Not so easy to do with the drone. Don't get me wrong, the drone has its place, it's a great tool. But most falconers are afraid of stooping the lure, and they shouldn't be. It's an amazing tool. Yeah, little hole in the clouds for the sun for right now. And then it looks like clouds coming in over there and there. It's kind of a pretty day. I think there's like an 80% chance of snow through the day today. Had a little bit of a later start this morning. I drive a school bus for a living, and I don't normally drive a daily route. I just do the long activity trips. We've got a couple of drivers out, so I had to cover somebody's route this morning. So when I do that, I load up Clyde and Astro in the truck, get everything ready, head to the bus barn, park there, and they just stay in the truck while I drive my route, and then I go straight from there to Hawking. That way I can get out as soon as possible. Done with the morning routes by 8 a.m., so it's not too bad. The only time it's a real annoyance is like in September when the daytime highs are going to be warm, and I want to get out at first light and get it done before it gets any warmer than it needs to be. We're blessed with, even in the summer, temperatures usually get down at least in the 60s, sometimes the 50s at night. So if you're out at first light, it's nice and cool comparatively, even if it still gets out to 90 or even 100 during the day. Other places, the low might be 70 or 80. A lot harder to fly a gyrfalcon. in that kind of weather. What's the matter, Astro? You in there whining? I didn't let you out while I flew them on pigeons. Got to take care of that foot. Let's see what our data says today. Okay, 3.9 miles, 173 feet for his pitch. He knows when I'm tossing pigeons. And it's not just the fact that I carry this orange bag with me. It's he knows there's no dog in the field. He knows where I'm at, what I'm doing, just body language, just lots of subtle things he can pick up on real easily. And he doesn't go quite as high, which is bizarre because most falcons will go up even higher for pigeons because they know they need to. But he's a little different for that. Well, we didn't find any game today. The season's winding down. I still enjoy getting out. Only got a few days left till the season closes, and heck, if this snow we're getting the next few days really dumps on us, it might be done even sooner. We'll see. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button. Thanks.